whole land of Israel was promised to the children of God. And this is where we are going to build a new temple for the entire humanity to come and pray together. Those were the potentially incendiary words of Moshe Feiglin, a right-wing nationalist Israeli politician who spoke to me as he came down from the Al-Aqsa mosque compound in Jerusalem, where he had been praying and singing religious songs with a group of around 20 other religious Jews. Norway's Crown Princess Mette-Marit has undergone a successful lung transplant in Oslo. The country's royal household has said Mette-Marit, 52, was diagnosed with a form of pulmonary fibrosis in 2018. In recent months, her condition had worsened.
Israel has seized planning and construction powers covering the Ibrahimi Mosque on the site of a Jewish and Muslim shrine in the occupied West Bank from Palestinian authorities. Scrapping parts of an agreement in place since the 1990s, Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich said on Tuesday in a speech announcing the move. Smotrich said he had abolished the parts of the 1997 Hebron Agreement that gave the Palestinian Municipal Council of Hebron control of planning, zoning and construction in the H2 zone of the West Bank city. Taiwan has accused Kenya of deporting people from the island who planned to attend a global oceans conference in Mombasa and blamed Beijing for exerting pressure on the East African country. Focus Taiwan, the English-language website of Taiwan's central news agency, reported that 2 delegation members headed to the Our Ocean Conference were denied entry and detained by Kenyan immigration authorities.
Toronto, Canada. When Diana Gallego listened to Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney's widely touted speech at the World Economic Forum at the start of this year, she couldn't help but feel a disconnect. Carney had made an impassioned plea to the world's middle powers to break with a United States-led international order that he said was no longer working, and his words found receptive audiences around the world.
The Sindh Cabinet has approved the provincial budget for the 2026-27 fiscal year, paving the way for its presentation in the Sindh Assembly. According to details shared from the Cabinet meeting, the provincial budget is expected to exceed $2.7 trillion. The government has proposed a 7% increase in salaries for government employees and a 5% increase in pensions.
The National Highways and Motorway Police has decided to tighten safety measures on national highways and motorways by making fire extinguishers mandatory for all passenger and cargo vehicles. According to a Motorway Police spokesperson, the decision has been taken in view of the rising risk of fires during road accidents. The move is aimed at protecting lives and properties by ensuring that vehicles are equipped to respond to fire-related emergencies. The Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan, DRAP, has banned the sale and use of 5 batches of auto-disabled syringes manufactured by 3 companies after they were found to be substandard. According to a medical product alert issued by the authority, the affected syringes failed the auto-disabled test, raising concerns that they could be reused.
Elon Musk's artificial intelligence tool Grok was used in strikes against Iran. The United States government revealed in a legal briefing seen Tuesday by AFP. The June 15 brief defends the gas turbines used by a large data centre belonging to Musk's company XI. The turbines are currently the target of an environmental lawsuit.
Pakistan has extended its airspace ban on Indian aircraft for another month. With the restriction now set to remain in place until July 24, the extension was announced through a notice to airmen, NOTAM, issued by the Pakistan Airports Authority. The previous restriction was due to expire on June 24.
After a full decade as Marvel's Spider-Man, Tom Holland might just be the best person to pick his successor as the web-slinging superhero. Apparently, he already has a name in mind. When Esquire asked him who he thinks should take on the role's great power and great responsibility, Holland had another young Brit in mind. Owen Cooper would be awesome. Obviously, he's super talented and he's the talk of the town right now.
The son of jailed former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has been convicted by Brazil's highest court of pursuing US intervention during his father's coup trial last year. Eduardo Bolsonaro, 41, was charged last year with lobbying US authorities to help the ex-president by imposing tariffs or sanctions on Brazil. Equatorial Guinea's government has resigned after failing to meet its objectives, Vice President Teodoro Nguema Obiang Mangue said. Obiang, who is also the son of President Teodoro Obiang Nguema Mbasogo, said the Prime Minister had presented the resignation of all members of the government because it had barely reached 10% of its targets.
Israeli forces have carried out new strikes in southern Lebanon, state media say, despite renewed criticism from US President Donald Trump of Israel's actions in the country. On Wednesday, Israeli jets struck the Nabati al-Farqa area and the outskirts of neighbouring Kafar Tevnit, Lebanon's national news agency, NNA, reported. The Israeli military has not yet commented, but has previously said it is targeting the Iran-backed armed group Hezbollah. The agreement between Iran and the US lays out the terms of the ceasefire between the bitter rivals, the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, some financial relief for Iran, and a reiteration from Tehran that it will never produce a nuclear weapon. According to a draft copy of the text obtained by CNN, the 14-point Memorandum of Understanding has not yet been officially released, but a copy of it was obtained by CNN from a US official. Diplomat who saw it at the G7 summit in France this week confirmed its contents, as did two other diplomatic sources with knowledge of negotiations.
Boxer Floyd Mayweather faces 2 felony charges in Las Vegas over allegations that he wrote a bad check to buy a watch from a luxury resale store. Mayweather was scheduled for an initial appearance on Monday in Las Vegas Justice Court. He was not physically present for the hearing, but a lawyer represented him on his behalf, according to the Clark County District Attorney's Office.
Pinterest on Wednesday announced a new experimental app called Ask Pinterest that will allow the company to explore a more conversational approach to shopping and product discovery that could eventually find its way to the main Pinterest app. It also introduced other AI initiatives, including Pinterest Model Context Protocol, MCP, designed for advertisers running campaigns on Pinterest's platform, and other AI ad tools. The news comes just ahead of the ad tech industry's annual gathering at Cannes Lions, which is this year mainly focused on how AI can serve the needs of advertisers and marketers.
Uber plans to launch a premium robotaxi service in Houston by mid-2027, making it the second US market under its partnership with EV maker Lucid and autonomous vehicle startup Nuro. The announcement follows a flurry of activity in the San Francisco Bay Area, as the trio of companies prepare to offer a robotaxi service there later this year. Uber says it will eventually take the robotaxi program to dozens of cities in the coming years.
Karachi bus owners have announced an indefinite strike starting June 18 to protest what they describe as excessive traffic challenge and heavy fines imposed on public transport vehicles. The Karachi Bus Owners Association said it has decided to suspend public transport services across the city due to growing concerns over strict traffic enforcement measures and rising financial penalties. Lahore. Identity 360 Global, a venture of EPL Private Limited and a provider of AI-powered digital identity solutions, has successfully completed more than 2 million touchless biometric verifications for EasyPizer, marking a significant milestone in Pakistan's rapidly evolving digital financial landscape. What makes this achievement particularly noteworthy is that the same technology has already powered over 1 billion biometric verifications worldwide, bringing internationally recognized standards of identity assurance, fraud prevention and customer convenience to Pakistan's growing digital economy.
Windows 11 has a hidden power management setting that can give users more control over how the operating system handles CPU boost behavior. By default, these options are not available to regular users. However, when exposed through a registry change, Windows 11 can allow more CPU fine-tuning for better performance or improved efficiency.
SpaceX is buying Anisphere, the company behind AI coding tool Cursor, in a $60 billion all-stock deal. The deal is also a major moment for Pakistan's tech community because Cursor was co-founded by Pakistani-born Suale Asif.
Punjab has allowed individuals aged 16 to 18 to obtain juvenile driving permits for motorcycles and scooters. According to Digji Traffic Waqs Nazir, the permits will be issued by traffic police from this week. Permit holders will only be allowed to ride motorcycles or scooters with engine capacities of up to 125cc. Messaging app Telegram has filed a petition in a New Delhi court challenging an Indian government order that has temporarily blocked use of the platform in an effort to prevent exam fraud. A legal news website reported on Wednesday. The extraordinary order blocking the app came into effect on Tuesday in an attempt to curb fraud channels claiming to have the question paper in advance, but has generated divided opinions on such blanket bans.
The Mughal Empire remains one of the most extensively documented periods in South Asian history, preserved through imperial chronicles, manuscripts, and miniature paintings. Yet within this vast archive, many figures survive only in fragments, overshadowed by dominant narratives. Their absence prompts a fundamental question: who decides what is remembered and what is allowed to disappear? Behram Farooqi's exhibition Beginama engages this question through a language of restraint. The folio becomes both artifact and void, while embroidery, traditionally associated with feminine labour and ornament, emerges as a medium that unsettles the authority of the archive. Farooqi's solo exhibition, presented by the Vassal Artists Association, is part of the 5th iteration of the museum series at the Vassal Gallery, Karachi. Former Pakistan cricket captain Shahid Afridi on Wednesday visited the United Nations UN headquarters in New York and appreciated the Pakistan mission's constructive role in fostering dialogue and settling disputes peacefully. In a statement shared on X, the permanent mission of Pakistan to the UN said, former Pakistan cricket team captain and celebrated all-rounder Shahid Afridi visited the UN headquarters in New York at the invitation of Ambassador Asim Iftikhar Ahmad, the permanent representative of Pakistan to the UN.
World Cup continues on Wednesday, with 4 more teams getting their tournaments underway. Cristiano Ronaldo's Portugal take on the Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, while England face Croatia. One of the most anticipated matches of the day. Ghana meet Panama, and World Cup newcomers Uzbekistan face Colombia in the late game.
London, United Kingdom. Activists who gained access to the widely condemned Great Israeli Real Estate event in London have shared photos with Al Jazeera that show property in illegal settlements being marketed. The invite-only event, held at Edgware United Synagogue, was part of a roadshow promoting the sale of land and property in Israel, but in reality, these included homes in areas such as Givat Ziv and Tivot Shelley in the occupied West Bank, as well as settlements in East Jerusalem.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has said the firing of warning shots by a Russian frigate to divert a UK-flagged civilian yacht near British territorial waters was troublesome and should not have happened,
but was not linked to the seizing of a Russian Shadow Fleet vessel over the weekend. The incident, involving a British couple travelling on a yacht, occurred on Tuesday, according to statements from the defence ministries of the United Kingdom and Russia.
The small constituency of Makerfield in northwest England has found itself in the eye of the storm of British politics with a by-election on Thursday that will not only produce a new Member of Parliament, but could also pave the way for a new Prime Minister. The by-election was triggered last month when the previous MP, Josh Simons, stood down to allow Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham to contest the seat. If Burnham wins, he intends to challenge UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer for the leadership of the ruling Labour Party.